right, we back. Player T, that's me, Hollywood in the Hood. Yeah. Player P, I ain't the only one with a P up here today, baby. You know, I got Miss P up here. Pecola Pointer right here. Author. Yeah. Now, if you missed the onset of the show, I was saying she got a really great book. And, but, you know, I really want to get into your story. First of all, thanks for coming, Pecola.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you've been an author. Is this your first book we're going to get into?
My absolutely first, yes.
Okay. Now, I know it was partially inspired by the passing of your mom. Yeah? What was your mom's name?
My mother's name was Pecola Pointer. And,
did she look like you?
They say to me, I look just like my mother.
Okay, spitting image. Yeah, okay.
So her and my dad had 10 children. It was 10 of us.
Your mom and your dad had 10 children. You come from a extra large family.
10.
We fought over the bacon and eggs and the toast. Hey, that's mine.
So I am the youngest girl.
You're the youngest girl.
And I got 2 brothers under me.
And 2 brothers under you. So you see you had little bros under you. 10 children. Wow. Where are you originally, your family, your mother and dad, they're originally from Cleveland? Or from?
Not my parents, but we all are. All of us are originally from Cleveland.
Your parents, they from the South? How did I guess?
How'd you know?
How did I guess? It usually go down like that. What'd you say, bud?
A steel move, like steel mill.
Oh, yeah, the steel mill move. Yeah. Were your family involved with that? Were they millers or anything of that nature? No, nope. They just migrated up here. They never told you why?
Well, my mom followed her big sister, and my dad came up here after the military.
Oh, is that right? Okay, all right, yeah. So you come from a big family. You got many brothers and sisters and everything like that. And you still managed to be close to your mom. You told me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, before the show that you and your mom had a close relationship.
Oh, yeah, that was my girl. I like to say we had a love-hate relationship because we loved just like we kind of bickered, you know. Yeah. I'm the baby girl, so she just always, until her death, she wanted me to be the baby girl. She thought I was her baby.
Yeah.
And that can be smothering, but she was a great mother. I wouldn't trade her for anything.
All right, so she was real tough on you. She stayed on your case.
Oh, yeah, she tried.
Because you were the youngest daughter. And none of that bothered you. You stayed close with your mom.
Oh, yeah. I live with my mom. I lived with my mom like the past decade before she passed away. So I was used to being around her and talking to her. And even when I was at work.
Why was that? Was that a necessity thing, or you felt like you wanted to do that because your mother might have?
No, she just called me all the time.
So you like, shoot, I might as well move with my mom?
No. When I moved with my mom had got sick. She had a heart. Yeah, she had a something going on with her heart back then. And I was leaving my home, my house. My kids was grown by then. And so I just stayed back in with my mother. She needed someone to help, you know.
Pretty big family. Why do you think it ended up being you?
I don't know. I often ask that question.
Yeah, Yeah, it happened with me, but yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
You know, we did it. That's all, you know, and if we wasn't there, somebody else probably would have wiped their butt too still. But we did it. You know, we wiped that butt.
I know I did. I was that one.
Oh, you was that one? You felt like your mom was real appreciative of that?
Oh, I know she was, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, because she used to get you together. You know?
She told me, and I knew. So, like I said, did you ask me about how the book got started?
Well, no, you're filling me in. You was telling me about your mom because you said you had a close relationship with her, and I just thought that was profound. Be it that you have 10 siblings, and you were able to be close with your mom. Sometimes when there's a big family like that, somebody don't get as much attention they feel like. You know, wasn't anybody in the family that felt like that?
Oh, they all felt like mom favored me.
They all
and she did.
Is that right? You were a baby girl. You said they all felt like they.
I don't know why, but yeah, me and my children, we were her favorites.
Oh, and your children was her favorite too. Yeah, it usually work out like that. And don't you hate when when the mom and the daughter's estranged, now the kids is estranged with grandma too? You know, like I'm so sick of hearing that type of stuff. You know, like why is that gotta be like that?
She was like their mother as well.
She was like their mother as well. Wow. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your dad. Was he in the home?
Oh yeah. My dad and my parents was together until my dad passed away. My dad must have passed away about.
He passed away first.
About 20 so years ago.
20 so years ago.
About 27 years ago, my dad passed away.
I know you grieved and mourned your dad, but why do you think it wasn't the way it was with your mom, where you collected letters and you had all this nostalgia, you had all this stuff going on?
That's a good question, and I don't know. I never thought about that, but I didn't. It was just something different with my mother.
Maybe it's like that, you know. It's a little different relationship with moms, you know. I guess I'm not sure. You know.
I don't know, but some of my sisters or my siblings, however, like I was close to my dad as well, but by the time I was coming up, like I was on the, with the smaller set of kids, and my dad was working 2 jobs nonstop. So I would see dad when it was time to go to bed or something like that. So,
protector, provider. I ain't really. You doing all right in school? Okay, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's how it was. So
yeah.
It was just something about, I was just used to hearing and talking to my mother and telling my mother absolutely everything. I told my mother some of the weirdest stuff, and she would listen.
Did you have to build and work towards that relationship?
Oh, yeah.
Or that was right off?
No.
Beginning?
Like I said, well, I was a teen mother. So you can imagine.
The troublemaker.
So you could imagine how many times my mother had to step in. But no, we had our tits and tats, but we were like this at the end of the day.
Okay. Were you afraid to tell mom, that first go-round, that first merry-go-round, hey, mom, I'm expecting?
No, my mother told me.
Huh? Oh, she seen it in you. You got that glow.
My mother said, I believe you. She said I used to spit. She said I spit all the time, and she said you pregnant.
Oh, so you just put me up on game. So when they get to spitting a lot, is something in the bread oven?
I promise you, that's what my mother told me.
Gotta watch for them spitters, man.
I wasn't even aware that I was spitting all the time, but she told me. That's how she knew. And she took me to the doctor at 16 years old, and I was pregnant.
16. Were you fearful?
Pregnant with that one.
Your son?
My daughter.
Your daughter? Wow, okay. Yeah, you got some beautiful family.
Thank you.
I'm willing to bet. And y'all all smell good, too, when you came through. Everybody smelled good, Yeah. Okay. So, it's teen mom at 16, and you say you had a great relationship with your mom where you didn't hide anything. So when you told mom about your pregnancy, what did she say?
No, she told me about my pregnancy.
When you confirmed it by going to the doctor and they say, you are, and you told her who the gentleman was and all of that.
She knew. Yeah, I had it steady back then. And what was it to say? The rest is history. There's my daughter.
She stuck with you. She said, I'm going to be here with you.
Yes, absolutely. Her and my dad. Those were my dad.
Her and your dad.
Those were my dad's words.
Yeah. Yeah, we ain't throw you to the wolves. Where you turn around and had 6 consecutive years.
My dad used to take my daughter to school and
I ain't knocking nobody. My mother had 6 of them, like a team,
That was the end thing.
That was the end thing? Yeah, it sure was. It was the end. Family affair. Yeah. Okay, so your mom and dad wrapped your arms around you and everything. About how long before you had your son?
I had him at 25.
Later on in life? Yeah.
They, I think, were 9 years apart.
9 years apart. We was able to grow within those 9 years. Your relationship with your mom grew in those 9 years too, huh? Yeah. Now, would your mom, did she have good insight, like where she foreseen a lot of things and would tell you about it and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Was she
you know,
religious?
moms always know. Yeah.
She was. Are you in the faith and everything? Okay. So when she passed,
absolutely told us to trust Jesus, trust the Lord.
Did they have a celebration for her in the church? She went to church? Yeah. Because I just seen some on the internet, woman died, and the family asked, can she be buried in the church she went to? And the guy came up with a bunch of excuses. So the family threatened the pastor. Our family put all this money up over 30 years, donated to the church, and you mean to tell me they changed their mind and had the funeral at the church? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in a minute. Player T, that's me, Hollywood in the hood. Yeah, I forgot to bring up, there was a woman in Southern California. She had a housekeeper, 4 years prior to the holiday, Latino housekeeper. So she gets a text. I guess it was a holiday toy drive she was involved with. Yeah, I got some toys for you. Come pick them up. Here's the address. She go pick it up. She go knock at the door. Nobody answers. She gets a text. Yeah, I'm elderly. My caregiver gonna bring the toys out. You can go back to your car. She go back to the car. There was somebody in the back seat, a woman with a wig on. Beat her on her and maced her and had her drive off. But the lady defended herself and started kicking the woman and biting on her and crashed into a car. Some construction workers seen it happen. They videotaped it. They ain't doing nothing about it. Somebody else had to help. They pulled the housekeeper woman off the other woman, and the housekeeper woman ran. Come to find out, that was her housekeeper. And she said, I think she was trying to kidnap me and take me to Mexico.
What?
I can't make this stuff up, I just can't make it. I mean, that would be in my phone call to my mother, but she might crack up in the grave, you know what I mean? I'm right here with author Pecola Pointer right here. A phone call to my mother in heaven. Now, before we went to the break, we were talking about your mom and how close to you were to her, and because that was the inspiration to your book. You were candidly telling me that how did it formulate the book? Because to me, that was very intriguing. But I want you to tell the people how it formulated.
Well, my mother passed in 2020. And like I said, I was used to talking to my mother maybe 4 or 5 times a day. When I was at the salon working, or when I was just out doing whatever, or when I was at home. And so I just really was yearning, just talking to my mother, just saying some stuff. I had some stuff to say. At the time my mother had passed away, I had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of personal stuff. And you need your mother. You just want to talk to your mother about some stuff. I had my mother with me for all my life. So, and like I said, I told my mother almost anything, some of the weirdest stuff, And that's probably why she kept me so close up under her. She probably used to say, this girl is really special. I better keep an eye on her. So anyway, I found myself just writing stuff down, I don't know. I would like to say that God put it in me to just start writing stuff to her. And I did not at that particular time start calling them letters to my mother. I was just like writing her little notes. I don't care where I would be, or
knowing that, because that type of thing reminds me when somebody puts something on the social media about their loved one that, that passed on, and I'd be like, I'd be kind of torn with it because I feel with them and I feel for them. Then I'd be thinking like, when I go to think about to do that, what stops me when I go to press send? The person ain't here that I'm talking to. So did you deal with that when writing these letters? You didn't have your mom to talk to anymore, but here you go writing things down that were personal to you that you normally share with your mom in conversation, but she's no longer here to physically read those things. So what was going through your mind, your reasoning to keep up with that and do that?
It might sound a little weird.
However it sounds, help us out. Help us out, because some of us going through it still.
Right. And then
we don't know what to do.
My point exactly. I found when I started my grief counseling and just talking to her, and I would
Who
tell
suggested that?
The grief
go to
counseling.
a grief counselor.
I just kind of knew.
Because I don't think you just decided one day to go. You got in your car. Well, first of all, you Googled some stuff.
Yeah. I was already familiar with grief counselors or whatever kind of counselors you may. I'm an advocate for counselors. I think that we as black people need to see a counselor. It's all kind of counselors out there.
So it wasn't hard to convince yourself, like.
Nope, because
that's brave too in itself.
Yeah, because I just knew,
Because you could be like, I got it, I'm good.
No.
And then you biting off everybody's head because you can't get your head straight.
Mm-hmm. I had never lost my mother. That was my first time. So it was professionals out there that would kind of help me through that stuff. And first I talked to my doctor, my regular doctor. I talked to my doctor about it, and I said I would like to talk to a grief counselor. So
that's what you told your doctor?
That's what I told my doctor, yeah.
And the doctor suggested someone?
No, she asked me did I want to go to somebody that was affiliated with my medical plan. So I talked to one of my sisters, because my sisters had one of my sisters had a tragedy in her life, and she had this affiliation with grief counseling. So I asked her about that particular place, and I called them, and they got me an appointment, I want to say, within 2 weeks. So it pretty much was that.
Going into that office, did you feel empowered or did you feel weakened?
I felt weakened and scared.
You felt weakened and scared.
I didn't know what to expect.
Because you felt vulnerable?
Yeah.
But fathom that. You know, the person that you used to talk to every day isn't there. Yeah. Now you got this serious grief on your heart, and you don't have nobody you could talk to.
Yes. And nobody to talk to was the key back then, because like I said, I had some stuff going on, so I wasn't talking to a lot of people.
You was just harboring all this stuff.
Yes. The inside of me was trying to shut down, was trying to don't trust nobody, don't talk to nobody.
So was it therapeutic to begin writing stuff down on pieces of paper?
Absolutely, it was.
And you'll go back and look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you tear any of it up and throw it away?
I would not tear up anything. Before I knew it, I had accumulated all these. Then I bought myself paper, and I would just start
like a journal?
Not a journal, just paper, a notebook paper, a school paper. And I would just write it every day. I found myself writing in it. It can be morning, it can be midday, it can be evening, but I would write in this notebook. And that's how it started. I still have those notebooks.
Yeah. So, okay. So am I to believe that you would go through your writings and then you just compiled these writings and you formulated it into a phone call to my mother?
Well, I felt like when I was putting them in there, I can't even begin to explain to you how comforting it was. It made me just feel it made me feel really different, by the time I write it. And then days, weeks, months ago past, and I've gotten all these letters, but I feel so much lighter. I felt different. I didn't feel so bogged down and heavy like I did.
Pecola, help us out. How could a mother and a daughter that's estranged, you don't really know much about that, but how can they pull it together and be maybe not as close as you all, but get some type of, closeness?
Therapeutic, yeah. That's a great question, because this is targeted for...
Get the book. Yeah, I can help you. First off, that's first and foremost. Then I'll give you a little game.
It's not just targeted with moms and daughters that are close. I did this with the moms. If you were an adopted person that never knew your mother, if you and your mom was estranged for any reason, if you have anything that you need to say or just get it out of you, that I did that This is for you.
Yeah, that's great advice right there. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to just have a close relationship with your mother. You could say anything to your mother over and over again. If you want to fill your pages up with the same thing over and over, that's personal and that's private and that's between you and your mother, which is your angel.
You and your daughter have the same type of relationship?
Yeah, my daughter. I asked her the other day. I was like, "You think we best friends?" She said, "Because we be together every day. How often do I come to your house?"
Every day. Okay.
And before I know it, I was just like, I don't know why I be over there all the time.
Hold on, Ma. We might need some space. I don't know what.
Right. Sometimes she'll come in, she'll be like, everybody in here got their own house. Why is everybody over here?
Now, you're an insurance agent as well, huh?
Yes. I am a independent contractor. I'm a life insurance broker, and I work for C.Ash Group. And it's an amazing company. And by me being a broker, I write insurance for about 7 or 8 different companies, depending on the needs of the customer.
So it's just, you say, what kind of insurance?
I sell life insurance.
Life insurance.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All forms of life insurance.
Been doing that?
I've been doing it. It'll be 2 years in July. Haven't been doing it a long time.
Did that have anything to do with what transpired with your mom and everything, the passing?
No. No, because my parents believed in life insurance. My parents had, they had life insurance on us as well as on themselves. So we didn't come up in a family that did not have life insurance. But it's a lot of families out there. You can tell by social media that don't have life insurance.
Are you besides, that's an instrument of providing for yourself, are you take pride in that, helping families become insured?
Oh, yes. I love to say that I'm doing it for the people. If they only knew the benefits of having life insurance. They think about, especially us, our people, we think about, it costs too much. I ain't going to be, I have had people tell me, I ain't going to be here. I'm not worried about something like that. I mean,
They must not have a lot of children.
No, this person has children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah.
But that's how people mentality is, that they can't afford it. And it's the last thing that they want to pay for. And it's the first thing that they will not pay a premium. And
has any clientele went through the unfortunate, but they were helped by you and your organization, by your services, and then they called you and thanked you and stuff like that? Has that ever happened?
No. Fortunately, all my people are still with us. But one of my co-workers like to tell the story, or it's an unfortunate story, about how he was there writing insurance for the family, and he was trying to get this particular daughter some insurance, and the mother did not get that daughter no insurance. Well, that daughter, this broke my my co-worker's heart, because he said he was trying. He said that mother kept saying, no, she don't need it, but that daughter wound up passing away. And that's a true story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Without the insurance.
Without the insurance.
What's the biggest misconception about, is it affordable?
Depends on what kind of insurance you get. But some insurance is better than no insurance. And I think that get a little bit of insurance. Get something.
What like a little bit covers? Like,
it'll bury you.
Like funeral costs.
But if you want to think about a legacy, get more. Put more into that policy. Leave your children, your grandchildren, your generations. Leave them something, generational wealth.
Right.
Yeah. So that's something that we don't talk about, but it's worth it. It's really worth it, because the insurance companies, you think about what they're giving back we could never pay into an insurance company what they give us in case something happens to one of us.
You said we can never pay that.
Yeah, our small premium will never match with the big amount
over
that
30
they
years?
pay. Yeah, no, it still won't. It still
every
won't.
month?
It still won't.
I'm paying you $200-$300 every month for 30 years?
No, you probably won't pay $200 or $300. That's a high premium.
That's a high premium?
Yeah, you're going to get some affordable insurance. Don't let nobody tell you a premium is going to be $200 or $300. That's for if you like really, really sick, or if you are really, really old or something like that. So some do.
Are you the type of writer that's truthful with the person?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, you got pre-existence. I'm letting you know right now.
No, we don't know that. I mean, they tell us, but then it's still going to go to the underwriter. So I can't put anything on your application that somebody is not going to look it over, and they all in your medical records. See, the insurance companies have access to your medical records.
The insurance company have access to you. That's by law? Or?
Yeah, they have every right to check your medical records. They're not going to insure you.
Once you sign on with them,
Yeah. No, before you sign on. Before you sign on, they already know if you're a risk. If you have had
so you mean
high
like
blood pressure.
If I go to an insurance company and say, yeah, I want insurance, and you give them your Social Security and name and number, from there they can do what they need to do.
Yeah, they got to do that before they insure you.
Yeah, I guess so. That's a tough game right there.
And you can't even be a smoker and tell them you don't smoke, because they're going to find out. They're going to say, no, it's coming back smoker.
Now, I need to lean on you. How can I maximize a really great policy? Like, give me some secret information that I could use where I can maximize. Like, if I go to call up an insurance agent and I want to go get some of that life insurance, help me secure more stronger, I don't know the word for it, more stronger benefit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know what you're going to say. That's when you're going to sit down, have a conversation with your insurance agent. They're going to listen to what you need, what your concerns are, if you have children, if you're a homeowner, what is it that you would like to do, whether you would like to pay off a mortgage in the near future. They have policies where you can actually use the money before anything happened to you. You don't have to wait until you die.
Oh, you could borrow against it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Some policies like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go, using that money trying to start a jackleg business. Do your investigation, and because some people destroy their policies. You ever seen that?
Well, no.
No.
Good thing I have not. They are only going to give you so much of your policy. It's not it's not like you're going to go. You got a $50,000 policy, and you're going to say, "Hey, insurance company, I want $50,000." They're not going to do that.
Do nothing like that. Mm-hmm. They give $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000 or something like
that. They'll pay off some college. They'll give you whatever you may want to use the money for. They'll do that.
Oh, that's pretty slick. And you say you got a number of companies that you write for.
Absolutely. It's about 7 or 8, and they all fall up under one umbrella.
Yeah. Okay, so we doing our artist thing. We got the insurance thing. We this entrepreneur. You coming with more books, or you just focus on this one right now? Is it in digital stores? Is it for sale?
It is for sale. It's live on Amazon. That's the only way you can purchase it right now.
It on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. So you go to Amazon and you just type in a phone call to my mother.
So did they publish it?
Amazon published it for me. Yes.
Okay.
So it's a great tool.
So there's an online link to that too.
There is. I'll share it to your page if you don't mind.
Yeah, please do. We need to get it up on the site, and we need to sell that boy. Phone call to my mother. I be wanting to call my mother too.
I know. Listen, let me tell you. You will be surprised that, and it doesn't matter how long your mom has been gone either.
So hold on, I'm intrigued now because you said you had these wild and crazy conversations that you wouldn't tell nobody to your mom. Is that in the book?
No.
Okay. We want to know, was it Freaknik in 1999?
So
you know, y'all heard about that. You know,
so
the parents was getting loose and now the kids find out about it. Yeah, y'all ain't heard about it. I ain't the only one that's popping right now.
So here's the thing about it's a journal. And so the pages, most of the pages are blank. You're going to write your own conversations to your mother.
Huh! Innovative!
So in the back of the book, there's area where you can get creative. Like I have my mother's old identification. I got some pictures of my mother.
In the book?
In mine.
In your book, okay.
In my personal.
Okay,
you know, this is my personal.
All right.
I have my mother obituary in the back of the book. So it's pretty good. Very neat.
So it's like a therapeutic type of thing.
Yeah.
Huh? It ain't just a book where I'm just telling you a bunch of stuff. You can, you know.
Yeah, you make this
That's
your
the
own.
first time I heard of that.
Yeah. Look, my mother ID, pictures of my mother, you know. So
yeah, that bread in there too, I see that.
Yeah, guess what this was? When my mom passed and we were going through her purse, and when I got her RTA bus pass, it's in here somewhere. She had $4 rolled up where she used to ride the transit. So I said, I'll never spend that $4. So it was going in here.
So do you feel like you're helping someone with their grieving process and bereavement?
Oh yeah.
Is that what you set out to do?
If it helped me, I'm pretty sure that it'll help you. Just put it in writing. Just put whatever is in your heart, whatever is in your mind, whatever thought that you want to say to your mom. Mom, why you leave me? Mom, why you ain't raised me? Mom, why you was out there in them streets on drugs? Mom, you know, or whatever you want to say. Or Mom, this is how I felt. Or Mom, guess what happened to me today? You know. So whatever it is that you want to say, put it in here.
Was your mom close to her mother?
Yes. My grandma lived a long age too. My mom passed away at 93, and my grandma passed away, I want to say she was like 85.
Yeah, good genes. Yeah. Now, Pecola, I know you gotta go, but I want you to, speak to the viewership. A person might be on the fringes, they might know how to write something, but they don't have the courage to formulate it into something as impactful as you have done. Mm-hmm. So can you offer a few words of encouragement to get somebody up to speed to where you're at?
I never thought that I would do this either. Like I say, it started just with me jotting notes, me writing down notes. And I originally started calling them love letters to my mother, even before this came to my mind. And what really made me bring this forth is because I saw so many people on Facebook and Instagram just grieving or just hurting or just sad, oh, I wish my mother was here. Or I wish when I started having my great grandkids, I was like, oh, if my mother could see them, my mother would love them. So I found myself saying, oh, my, guess what, they just beautiful and you would love them, So I think that, I don't know, just listen to yourself. Because like I say, I'm going back to saying that I thank God. Even when it took me a long time bringing this forth, I knew I had the ideal. I told my friend, I said, I got this ideal about this journal. I said, I want to help people. I want to tell people if they just do this, maybe it'll help them like it helped me. Because I promise you, I know without a doubt, it helped me. It helped me.
Yeah. Now, look, you can help yourselves, so go ahead and patronize Pecola Pointer right here and go ahead and get a phone call to my mother in heaven. You said it's on Amazon, right?
It's on Amazon.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on, and good luck with your book, and good luck with your insurance business that you got going on.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Play a T, that's me, Hollywood in the hood. We're going to take some pics before you get out of here.